Hello and welcome to another Entatio overview video. So this is the third video that we're putting out, and this one is about the Entatio for Salesforce.com application that is free through the Salesforce App Exchange. So right now what you're looking at is the Entatio homepage. If you need to get your own free environment, just go to Plans for Entatio. Select Start Free Trial. It's always free for up to 20 users. If you need the iPad app, just select here. That'll get you the Entatio application through the App Store. And if you need the Salesforce app, which is what we're going to talk about, just go and select here for the Salesforce app. And there you go. There is Entatio for Salesforce.com, free on the App Exchange. If you need help with any of these things, contact us. That's what we do, is we help companies set these up and make the most of them. We do Salesforce development and configuration to work with Entatio, customization. We do work with the app, the iPad app. And then we also, if you need your free IVA template, go ahead and select here. And we build those templates. We design and do programming for those templates. And then our partners in digital marketing agencies and creative agencies, they do all the pretty stuff and make it really work for you from a conceptual standpoint. We do the technical side. So now we're going to jump into the Salesforce app, which is the really technical side. This is what is happening on the back end when users are engaging your content either through an online Entatio environment such as this guy right here. So this is demo.entatio.com. This is where we share our free Entatio IVAs and put all of our tutorials and all this stuff so that users can get an idea of what Entatio looks like. When you log in, it will probably look a little bit different because I'm a super admin, but you should see at least some of this: presentations, media, and then something like this, which is an interactive visual aid. So this interactive visual aid is pretty neat. You jump through, you can kind of start to see different things going on. And one of the things about this interactive visual aid is if I'm a user and I go in and I start looking at this, and I have my Salesforce integration and I'm using that app, it actually does a lot of different things. So first off, this is what the app looks like. And it's actually the Media Manager application. That's what we use for Entatio for Salesforce.com. Media Manager is a partner company that does the development for the Salesforce side, and we integrate using Media Manager application, which is basically what Entatio for Salesforce is. So you'll see things like Media Manager users and stuff like that, but it's all the same thing. These are your users. Well, let's start with, I'm going to just go slide by slide to show you exactly what's happening. So let's say I'm in demo.entatio.com. So I create this content platform, this Entatio. I upload all the media I want. I can upload images, PDFs, interactive visual aids. I can upload PowerPoint presentations, all of that type of stuff. And each one of those will create a piece of media. So each one of these panels that you're looking at is a piece of media, and when I hover over these are different controls that I have. So this allows me to embed that media in websites. This allows me to make it not accessible to end users. So when your audience and your attendees come and they start looking at your media online, if I just want to hide it, I just do that, and now it's gone. They can't find it. Or I can make it available. It's very easy, show, not show type of thing. If a user subscribes to media, they just select subscribe, and now they'll get emails, and you can set up different types of templates for those emails whenever there's new media added or new content or an update or anything like that. Downloading media, editing the content, deleting it, making it a favorite, all of that stuff is available. And what you do is you take this media and you can start to organize it into presentations. So if I'm a presenter, I have the ability then to go in and here's my free Entatio IVA, but I may want to, I uploaded a bunch of media, but I'm going to now build it out a little bit better, and I'm going to make a presentation out of my media. So now when I go into free Entatio IVA, before there was only this, now there's 4 pieces of media in it, and I might not like the organization, so I'm going to reorganize it. Let's say we're going to take this slide and we're going to put that first. Oh, there we go. That's the way I want it. So I'm going to have my first slide, then my IVA, an image, and then the last slide. This is now my presentation. I can look at this in a table view. I can look at this in a grid view, and there you go. And this is my first slide. There's my second one. That's the IVA. There's my third one. There's my fourth one. I can go back and forth, and then I can exit out and say I want to jump right to this one. So I give my presentation. My users get access through different tools, the Entatio tools themselves, or they just go and register. Let's say you have an event or a conference, they go and they register. They log in and they start looking at this. Okay, they start looking at this presentation. They may even go to media. You may have some other presentations that you made available to them, and then they take their look. What the integration to the Salesforce, the Entatio for Salesforce.com app does is it allows you to use that engagement with content to drive your CRM operations. So you see here where you have connection strings. I actually have multiple Entatios tied into this one Salesforce organization. And I'm not using Lightning, so when you log into Salesforce, if it looks a little different, you might have the Lightning experience. It does work with the Lightning experience. Gotta love the way Salesforce does their job. But you can use the same thing here. I'm gonna switch back to Classic just because I've been using Salesforce so long that I don't feel comfortable in Lightning. So this demo.entatio, that entire environment here is integrated directly to Salesforce. There's no code in that integration. It takes us minutes to set it up for you, and it does everything automatically. And now what happens is anytime a user goes into here and registers here, creates a new user, if you create a new one through an actual Entatio, that's what an Entatio is. It's a collection of users and media grouped together. It'll automatically create a media manager user for them, and you can see which environment they're created on, any of the information that they put in there. You can see this is all test environment, their emails, any additional information that's gathered. So you're basically creating not an account or not a contact, what would typically be called an account or a contact in Salesforce, but you're creating a user who's related to the media that you're going to provide or the content you're going to provide, and then you use that to track engagement and then automate Salesforce based upon that engagement. So if I go to presentations, notice I have that free Entatio IVA presentation, I have PowerPoint presentation, sample PowerPoint presentation. All of these are automatically synced out of this environment. So if I go to presentations, there's a free Entatio IVA and a sample PowerPoint presentation. There's my free Entatio IVA, there's my sample PowerPoint presentation, and then this one is from a different environment. And then these other ones that you don't see there, notice how they're inactive. They used to exist and now they've been deleted. So you can see these are the ones that I currently have. And when I select into these, I'll start to see information about the presentation. So it's created by me. There's where it's coming from. This is the demo Entatio. This is the course or the environment. That's a link to the actual place. And then here are all the different pieces to it. And then these are the sections in it. So all of these are all the individual slides that are available through free Entatio IVA. And actually, I don't have it here, but there's a column that would show active and inactive. A lot of these are going to be active or inactive because right now, the only ones that are active are actually these guys right here. Those are the slides. So let's go ahead and look at interaction activity completions. Interaction activity completions are all of the records. So notice there's me. And if I went and I viewed an individual slide, it'll check this box every time that I do it, and then it'll create another record, and that record will sit there. And let's look at all of them. So this is all of them. Notice how a lot of these are not completed. There's a record out there for every single person that has the ability to go and look at a piece of media. It creates a record for that individual user for that piece of media and whether or not they've actually viewed it and whether or not they're still able to view it. And then when they actually went and viewed it. So if I go and I view my interactive visual aid and I do the home slide, so you can understand that would be this. And then I went here to this one. This would be slide number 5. In here, when I viewed that, it would select it as complete. It's still active. It would say when I looked at it. and then it would create another record waiting for me to actually look at it. And if I looked at it again, it would create another record. And then through this combination of just four simple things: who's looking at it, what piece of content they're looking at, whether or not they've viewed it, and then if you had, you would have a previous record, and then when, means that I can start to build out of all of this data that's gathered. And there's a lot of data that gets created. I mean, you create thousands upon thousands of records using either just simple reports down to artificial intelligence. I can create some really, really interesting things, such as, which users have viewed the most content. I can say, what content is most often viewed by users, what is the most interest to them, all those types of things. What are the pathways in terms of, what are they looking at first and then going to next? So, like it's a kind of like, are they going 1, 2, 3, or are they going 1, 3, 5? Where's the interest? All that type of stuff can be extracted from this data and then used in your analytics reporting and future content marketing. In addition to that, since this is a checkbox that's updated in real time, what we build are triggers and things of that nature and workflows that allow you to automate Salesforce based upon the engagement that your end users have with that media. So if somebody goes in and let's say they do a search, and that search ends up with some kind of keyword and it shows them this piece of media, you can set it up so that when that piece of media for that user is triggered, we're going to automatically create a contact for that user, and then we may give one of our sales professionals or one of our marketing professionals a task to follow up with them, or maybe reach out and make a contact. We can determine, what are our hot leads versus our cold leads, who's engaged with our content, who isn't engaged with our content. You can build all kinds of interesting things with this. That's one of the main things that Entatio does is, as our organization, is that we help organizations use content engagement to build better CRMs and better customer relationship management tools. And that's pretty much it. So that's what the Salesforce app does. There's a lot more to it. You see how there's all these other things. Actually, Media Manager doesn't just integrate with Entatio. There's a bunch of other Media Manager applications and portals and things like that. There's training portals and learning management systems and all that kind of stuff that integrates with this. So you can have a pretty comprehensive bunch of tools. But with Entatio, this is the main stuff. So you can connect many Entatios to a single Salesforce instance. Whenever somebody registers in your Entatio, it automatically creates a Media Manager user. That's kind of like a contact record for that user. And that happens anytime they register. So if let's say they use one of these embedded portals here, and they registered through there, it would automatically create them in here. And then it automatically creates these tracking records. It organizes the presentations. You don't have to do any of this. It's all automatically from the integration. And then it updates these records as people engage your content, which gives you a lot of power. So that is what the Salesforce.com, the Entatio for Salesforce.com app does and how it works, and we are here to help you make the most of it. We work with digital marketing agencies, we work with creative agencies, and then we also work directly with organizations to help them be successful through these tools. And we also build all these tools, so we know them very well, and we Media Managers actually very closely tied to Entatio, so we have a lot of input into this. And that's it. So if you have any questions, go ahead and reach out to us. You can always get to us through entatio.com, if I can find it. So here's our main website, and if you go here, you can find us, set up your organization. And even though this is offline right now, usually there's somebody here to be of service. So as always, the new way to say awesome presentation is Entatio. Reach out to us. Let us help you to be successful in your content marketing. Thank you.